The following presentation has been produced for members of the senior management team and trustees of OASIS Care and Training Agency. Its aim is to highlight new political policy now emerging around the funding and management of social care and vocational training. The recent general election has led to the Labour Party forming a new government with a large majority in the House of Commons. As an organisation that is heavily dependent upon income from public funding, OASIS is very likely to be impacted by the changes to funding policy that this new government will be making based on their pre-election manifesto. Therefore, it is important that management decision-making over the next 12 months takes known government intentions into consideration. A key element to sustaining and developing a business is to look ahead and anticipate future change in the marketplace, and then plan for it. The new government has made a commitment to reforming social care in response to years of underfunding, workforce shortages, and lack of consistent quality in service delivery. Whilst a similar commitment is made to the skill development system that drives the provision of funded vocational training aimed at supporting employment opportunities and economic growth. How this reform will be delivered and funded is unclear at the moment. But there are some indications already that need to be carefully considered. The King's speech made in Parliament on 17th of July 2024 made no mention of planned legislation for social care reform during the next year. But this might indicate that planned change will not need new legislation, or the financial funding of the proposed change is not viable during the first year of the new government. The Labour Party state in their manifesto that they will create a national care service, which the public sector plays the majority role in delivering care again. Their visionary document called Towards a National Care Service goes into more detail and proposes radical changes. If this proposed reform is delivered, it will set off alarm bells for private providers of social care services, as it will see a return to the local authority ownership of service delivery last seen in the 1990s. Central to this will be care staff employed by local authorities, with the pay, working conditions and training to provide high-quality care. This raises a serious question of just how realistic and affordable this is. There is also mention of new standards, which might well mean new methods of inspection by the Care Quality Commission. Their new interim chief executive, appointed after the general election, has already made a formal apology for previous failure to deliver and establish an inspection framework that is manageable and effective. Looking at the common themes within the Labour Party manifesto, there is a clear commitment to transfer, or delegate, power to local or regional administration through additional funding. Therefore, one possibility might be local authorities and NHS trusts taking responsibility for quality inspections based on a standardised national inspection framework, thus removing the need for the Care Quality Commission as a national government agency. Reforming further education is another area that the new government have pledged to make changes that will impact on future funding. They are proposing to establish Skills England, which will coordinate the localisation of funding to meet local skill needs. It will also have the teeth to ensure that within combined authorities there is clear accountability for skills spending, which aligns to economic priorities. The Labour Party make no mention about sector skills councils, such as Skills for Care, that due to previous funding cutbacks have currently adopted a much watered-down role from their original presence at a regional and local level. Eligible programs proposed for funding will include modular courses in digital and green skills, social care and childcare, functional skills, basic digital skills, pre-apprenticeship training, and programs relating to net zero. The Labour Party has publicly committed its plan to broaden the existing apprenticeship levy into a growth and skills levy, allowing firms to use up to 50% of their levy contributions to fund training through routes other than apprenticeships. Skills England's challenge will be in determining the high-value programs outside of apprenticeships that should be funded without wasting public money on programs that employers would have funded anyway. So in conclusion, What strategy should members of the OASIS senior management team take in the coming months? It would be easy to take a wait-and-see approach, as political parties have a habit of not always doing what they say they will do, and with government borrowing currently being over £3 trillion, the Labour Party will need to be prudent in how they fund their proposed changes and new initiatives, after pledging not to increase tax and national insurance. But our need to gather further intelligence and updates on developments is critical for all senior managers. This can only be achieved by attending consultation events and reading government agency publications that are likely to emerge during this financial year. This will support our business planning and the identification of priorities for investment by OASIS. Clearly, we need to be prepared. That means that we have done our homework and are at the point where no more research and advice is required. Thank you for listening to this presentation. I hope to provide an update at the senior management meeting in October. In the meantime, please undertake your own research and report on any new developments you manage to identify as our new government starts to prove or not prove itself, as the case may be, on delivery of some radical proposals outlined in this presentation.